I am not ashamed to admit that I really hate most films directed by Paul Verhoeven. The main reason is similar to the reason I hate of Stanley Kubrick's work, which is that these directors like to take the tools of cinematic art and use them to jerk the audience around just to make a point. This usually involves gross exaggeration, gratuitous sex and violence, and ridiculous attempts at satirical humor. But whereas Kubrick does this with serious intention, Verhoeven just likes to see how far he can take the joke without the audience catching on and then laughing behind their back. He's like the Andy Kaufman of film directors. Verhoeven pulled this off to maximum effect in Starship Troopers, where his main target was our attitude toward the military and war films, and also Heinlein's book. In RoboCop, I'm guessing his target was police action films. In Total Recall, I've recently begun to believe that he was targeting the Hollywood production machine. Before I explain that, let me say a bit about this really bad 1990s sci-fi action film. I can't just skip over a film that was supposedly based on a Philip K. Dick short story, but I've heard that the film not only diverges from the book, but leaves out most of what makes the story interesting in the first place. You can see seeds of Dick's ideas in the whole dream versus reality themes that are explored, but I've learned that this script floated around Hollywood for many years, but never got produced, for one reason or another. It went through lots of revisions, and I don't suppose many directors wanted to get involved. I will guess that this created a situation where Hollywood had invested a lot of capital into trying to get this movie made, and was quite frustrated. They were willing to throw a lot of money at it to get it done. I think Mr. Paul Verhoeven saw this as just too tempting. His idea about this project was to demonstrate Hollywood's tendency to believe that the more money you invest in a film, the better it will turn out. He would take a script by a respected intellectual author and transform it into an action-packed spectacle filled with silly one-liners and many explosions. He would cast one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood at the time, Mr. Schwarzenegger, chosen specifically because of how well he embodied the high-paid, low-talent Hollywood star. Somehow, he managed to spend tons of money on special effects, which often ended up looking like cheap puppetry, toy models, and cartoonish claymation. He secured a big budget for a nice score by Jerry Goldsmith. He filled his film with obvious product placements and lots of gore and violence, while neglecting many plot points and story details. He did all this while maintaining a straight face, then chuckled quietly as the film debuted at #1 at the box office. And Hollywood executives all congratulated him. All right, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but probably not by much. There isn't much worth remembering about Total Recall, no pun intended, except the possibility that its director was kidding the executives and maybe the audience, just like he did with several of his other films before and after. I'm sure I'll get some criticism for this, but at least you can't say my perspective isn't unique.